How's it going, guys? My name is Ricardo and I want to introduce you guys to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is going to be a channel to uplift you, to encourage you through the weeks. There's 7 days in the weeks and I want to try to encourage you each and every day. So basically, guys, this channel is designed to uplift you guys through the Word of God, through my experience, through my testimony, guys. I just want to encourage you through life, through the hard situations, through the tough times, through the times where you might be feeling alone, the times you might be feeling depressed, the times you might be going through anxiety, all of those things. Like, I hope my videos will speak life to you guys. So I want to share my story with you guys so you guys kind of know who I am, where I come from, what's my background, and what kind of gives me this permission to step into your story and encourage you. So to start with, I'm just gonna let you guys know right now, I talk 2 languages. My first language that I speak is English, praise the Lord. And then the second language that I speak is French. Yep, I'm tropical. I'm from Haiti, so I was born in Haiti, guys. And if you guys have never been to Haiti, it's right next to Jamaica. And yeah, we speak 2 languages. So anyway, that was kind of a side tangent. But I was born in Haiti, guys, and I moved all the way to Florida, which isn't too far. but I moved to Florida. My parents relocated me there. And right around the age of 5, I'm not really sure which took place first, but right around the age of 5, both my parents passed away. So that was kind of a dramatic turn. I know, I'm sorry, I should have prepared you for it, but that's just what happens in life. So both my parents passed away at the age of 5, and I have to, I get adopted and get taken to California, of all places, the desert. So I get taken to California, and I start doing life over there. So I feel like the worst is already past and everything, that has happened has already happened. So I started doing life again. And I decided that I wanted to be a basketball player. So I started focusing all my energy on playing basketball. So when I got to California, I was like, these kids don't know what Haitians can do, when it comes to balling. So I'm about to ball. Didn't work out. At 11 years old, guys, I got diagnosed with HIV/AIDS virus, and I feel like I keep dropping all these bombs on you and not giving you like a warning sign. I promise you, on the next one, I will give you a fair warning when I'm getting ready to drop a bomb. But I got diagnosed with HIV/AIDS virus at 11 years old, and here's what happened. So my doctors come up to me and they're like, "Hey, Ricardo, we figured out why you're sick, and why you've been in the hospital for the last 3 weeks. It's because you were born with HIV/AIDS virus, so your life is going to change, and you might have to do something else besides basketball." So I was like, all right, cool. And, figured out that I was born with this disease. That's how my parents passed away. It was from the complications related to HIV. So that's how my parents passed away, and they passed it on to your boy. So what am I going to do? Move on. So the next phase of my life is pretty much, it just looked like me trying to figure out, where do I fit? Where do I belong? What is my purpose here on earth? And try to figure that all the way out. So I get to my senior year and I haven't figured out anything. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know where I fit. I don't know any of that stuff. So I'm just like, man, I gotta make a decision. I've graduated, and my auntie, man, she's a traditional black mom, praise. And here's what she said. She said, "Ricardo, you got 2 options. The first option is you can get a job and pay rent, or you can go to school and you won't have to pay rent." And I was like, no brainer, I'm going to school. So I was like, all right, going to school, that's decided. But I didn't know what to go to school for, so I just showed up for the first day of class, took art and random classes, took the CNA program first, and decided that I did not want to be a CNA because that was just not, I think the home healthcare system, it kind of destroyed my what I saw as being a nurse. So it took me out of nursing real quick, and I decided, you know what, I still want to work in the medical field. So I went to the EMT program, the EMT class I should say, and took the EMT program. Man, I fell in love with the ambulance, man. Riding 911, bro, I fell in love, responding to calls, never knowing what I was gonna show up to, but always being a light for someone in a dark situation, because every time somebody calls 911, they believe that they're going through the hardest time in their life. So it's always great when you can show up on scene and speak life or do something to change that or affect it. So I love being an EMT. It was what I wanted to do. It's like, man, dude, I get to be an EMT. This is super dope. I'm 18 years old, and I've already figured out what my career is. So I step into this world of responding in 911, and I'm living this life. I'm living my dream job. So I'm like, dude, I'm paramedic, let's do this. Bro, tell me why. Right when I make a decision, see, I'm preparing you for another bomb. Tell me why when I get ready to make this decision to like commit to being a paramedic, that's when all of a sudden you get Ebola, bird flu, you get all these crazy diseases that just pop up out of nowhere. So here I am trying to like play Russian roulette every time I respond to a 911 call, like I'm playing Russian roulette with my life. So if you guys don't understand how HIV works, basically it breaks down the white blood cells in your body and it just causes problems like for your defense system. So it's not really wise for you to be around sick people. Man, all these diseases just pop up out of nowhere. So your boy's playing Russian roulette every time he's going to somebody's house. And my doctor sat down with me and said, Ricardo, like, we know you love being a medic, but we don't know if that's the wisest thing for you to do right now. We feel like you should probably reconsider being a paramedic. And I was like, you mean to tell me I gotta change my life again? Like this was tough. Now that was probably the hardest pill I've ever had to swallow, was changing like the thing that spoke to my heart the most. So I was like, God, like I really enjoyed helping people in this way. Like what else am I gonna do? Like what is gonna replace that? So I go through this like season of like just going through random jobs. And like for me, I'm all about living like on purpose. So I don't like just working at a job and just having a job for a job's sake. Like I love to like have purpose behind what I'm doing. So I'm working at all these random jobs because I had to leave being a paramedic. And I promise you, in that time period, depression hit me the hardest, anxiety, all of these things that I didn't even know that I was dealing with internally, they all hit me all at once and it just flooded me. And it just like took me down this negative path. And you know, at times I responded negatively to all of those emotions and things like that. So finally it had gotten so bad that I literally thought of like committing suicide for the first time in my life. Up until that point, guys, I had never thought of committing suicide, ever. But I got to a point in my life where everything weighed on me so much. And that's what happens when you bury stuff inside. Listen to me, if you're burying stuff inside right now, you need to let that go. You need to set it down, give it to God, and you know, speak to people, talk to people, get counseling, get help, whatever you need to do, but let it go. Because if you let it weigh you down, it will start to shove you into spaces like your mind. It will start to shove you into depression. It'll start to shove you into so many different things. And ultimately for me, it shoved me into suicide. Like I literally was contemplating committing suicide and I actually tried it. That was the crazy part. Like I actually tried to commit suicide. I never thought I would do that. But the situation had gotten so out of hand that I tried to commit suicide. So one night I'm sitting in my apartment and I'm deciding, you know what? I've gone through so much that, you know, my life is over. Like I'm just done. I'm so done with life. I'm just gonna give up. I'm just gonna give up. There's no point in me trying again because all I experience is just negative, one thing after another, and I'm so sick and tired of going through hard times. So I take more than I was supposed to when it comes to my HIV medication. I took more than I was supposed to that night. And I posted something on Facebook and I said, you guys, you know what? I think it was like something like, just sick and tired of life or something like really, really negative. My old EMT partner, thank God for Steven, man. I love you to death. Till this day, you have no idea that you saved my life, but you did. He used to work with me and he went to class with me. He actually graduated with me from the EMT program. And this man called the Lancaster Sheriff's Department and he actually saved my life by doing that. So here I am ready to die at my apartment and these police officers show up to my door like boom, boom, boom. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Like they just come knocking on the door. Police will not go away if you are about to commit suicide. So these boys ain't going away. They're about to boot my door down. And I was like, you know what? I want my security deposit back. Please don't boot the door down. So anyway, I open the door. These guys come in and they're like, man, we can't let you, we can't leave you by yourself right now. We got to take you to the hospital. So I'm like, all right, dude, like I'm not about to wrestle with the cop. Let's go. So I get in the back of the cop car, the only time I've ever been in one, praise. But here I am in the back of this police car and the cop is talking to me and he's like, hey dude, I think it'd be really good for you to speak to a pastor of mine that I know. And I was like, I really don't want to talk to a pastor right now, but I guess. So I gave him my phone number and sure enough, I get to the hospital and like I'm sitting there and going through all the evaluations and the psych evals and all that stuff. So I'm going through all these evaluations and I totally forgot that I gave this cop my number to give to this pastor. Well, the pastor ended up hitting me up. He actually like texted me and he said, hey dude, I'm on my way to the hospital. And I was like, no, please, oh no, oh my God, don't come. But I don't want you to see me like this. I literally didn't expect for the pastor to come through, but he actually came through. He came through as I was leaving. So I was leaving the hospital and he was coming there. This guy's named Ricky Hemme. If you don't know him, he's an amazing pastor. This guy saved my life too. So he was the next face in me turning my life around. So I meet Ricky Hemme, and Ricky Hemme sits down with me and he starts talking to me, and he's like, he hears my whole life story, right? He hears the long version of this sucker. So he hears my whole life story, and he's like, Ricardo, you've been through so much, dude. I really feel like you could speak life to the students at our, at our church. And I was like, you know what, I've never really shared my story like that. I've never shared my story corporately. I've always shared it on a one-on-one basis, but I've never shared it corporately. So I was like, I don't know, bro. I don't know if I can do this. And he's all like, come on, man, Ricardo, you gotta try, man, because there's so many people that can be blessed by your life. So I was like, I guess. So I step out of my comfort zone, which was really hard for me to do. Even this video right now is hard. But I step out of my comfort zone and I get up there and I speak to the high school students. After I get done, man, I felt so like, it was almost, as much as it was as much as I was helping them, it was therapy for me, just to let the world know the truth about my life and like the struggles that I go through. Like, it was therapy for me to get it out and to just let people know, like, this is me, this is who I am, and this is how I come. And like, it was therapy. So I was like, dude, that was point one. That was the first thing that I learned that night. The second thing I learned was that people were actually moved by my story. People were encouraged by my story. Like, there were so many students that came up to me after that and started saying, Ricardo, like, dude, like, your story really spoke life to me. And that, you are an inspiration and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, yeah, I guess, but I didn't know what to do with that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what to do with that. So I just kept on moving forward and just, doing life with students and sharing my life with whoever I came across. And then I started researching Eric Thomas. I love you. I saw him and I was like, dude, I think I want to be a motivational speaker. I think I want to be a speaker because literally I'll still be able to save lives. So I decided to like start looking at what it takes to become a motivational speaker. I discovered that, when it comes to being an EMT, a paramedic, I am great because, there's a guide to all that stuff. There's patient assessment, there's certain things that you have to follow, protocols, you have a system in place to help you through it. When I got to speaking as a motivational speaker and trying to figure that out, which I'm still learning right now, like, I realized that there's no blueprint whatsoever, none. Instead, what it looks like is a lot of counseling, getting your story right, figuring out how you're gonna tell your story, and doing all this stuff. So I'm still in this space where I'm learning to do that. So I decided, you know what, I want to be a motivational speaker, and I think I'm really gonna go through with this. So I started doing that, and some of the frustrations that set in really early was, getting your name out there, getting everything together, presenting yourself and all this stuff. So, I just decided, scratch all that. I'm not even gonna try to do it perfectly, because when I was an EMT, we encountered people in messy situations, and we made the most of it. So I'm gonna make the most of it with this YouTube channel, and what I'm gonna do for you guys is that however I can encourage you, however I can inspire you, however I can lift you up, however I can do anything to improve your life, I wanna do that. I don't care how it looks. I really don't care about the fancy backgrounds or any of that stuff, because guess what? I'm not impressed with that stuff. I'm not impressed with it. So I just care about helping people. And if I can do that for you, please know that I'm here for that. And that's what my life purpose is. That's what I want to do with my life. And I'm not going to let anything stop me. Like, I'm not going to let anything stop me. I will be a motivational speaker one day, and I will find a way to put it all together to where I can bring you guys the best content. I can bring you guys life messages that just speak to your life, speak to your situation, and encourage you through the toughest of times. Anyway, sorry for the long video. This is an extremely long video, but I had to get it right, and I had to just let it flow from the heart. So I hope you guys didn't mind my extra long video, but I love you guys. If you have any questions about my story, about things that I use to encourage myself, which I'll be sharing with you guys on the videos to come, please comment down below, message me, email me, call me, do whatever you got to do to get to me. I will respond.